In this section, I'm going to be showing you how to sew a shirt collar. Let's start by measuring around the neck, which gave us 16 inches. For the collar interface, you don't want to use something as light as this. You want to use something hard but not too hard. Fold your interfacing by a width that is longer than your neck by 1.5 inches or 2 inches. The neck is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. That's the 8 we are marking now. Mark 1/4 in the next part. Connect the lines together. Mark another line a hairline close or very close to the other line. Make a freehand curve at the edge. Mark 1/4 inch at the side of the bottom and mark 1.5 inches at the bottom. Connect the lines together. Mark 2 inches at the top part and connect the lines. This line is not necessary, but it's going to make it easier for me when explaining some things to you. From that line, you want to mark 1/2 inch out. At this part, mark 1/4 inch and connect the lines together. From this part, mark 1 inch and connect the lines together. You can then take your time to carve out the marked parts. This is the part where we gum the interfacing to the main material by ironing it on the material. When cutting it out, it's good for you to give an allowance of 1/2 inch around the collar. And this is a lining I cut out for it. The goal for this part, you want to pin both materials together and sew very close to the interfacing round. I use the red thread so that you can easily see it. When you get to a sharp edge like this, mark it so that you don't miss it. As you're sewing, when you're getting very close to that edge, sew very close to that dot and stop. Push a double thread inside and stop when you feel the needle. Sew a thread line in. After sewing a thread line, you want to hold both brown threads together and see if they are finally sewed. If they are sewed, now you want to push the part of the thread that is outside inside to the other part and continue sewing around. Before turning your work inside out, you can do some trimming. Trim everywhere, but don't trim the bottom part. And for sharp edges like this is the way I'm going to cut it to make my work balance. While doing this part, try your best not to break a thread. It can be tricky. As we are turning it inside out, thanks to this part we added the thread, we can easily drag the thread to bring out the shape of the collar easily. To remove the thread, you just need to drag one side of the thread and the other side will go out, or you just cut it out with your scissors. Give it a light iron to flatten it. This part is not necessary, but you can add a hemming gum at the bottom part to seal the bottom from fraying or shaking. For the next part, you want to gum the collar just like I showed you and cut it out. Take your time to iron the bottom part so that the shape of the interfacing will be showing at the bottom. Then you add hemming gum in between it to hold it perfectly well. After ironing that part, you want to cut a material for this part. Watch closely and you see. The way I cut it, everything is similar, but the length is 1/2 inch longer. It's very helpful to mark the middle of the collar so that when you are joining, you can place them perfectly in line and join. Before joining this part together, you want to sew 1/2 inch around the big part of the collar, which is the white one. Now everything is placed at the middle. Pin your work so it doesn't shake and sew around the interfacing. If you're a bit confused because the material is covering the interfacing, you can use a chalk to mark it so that you can easily see the part to sew. After trimming, turn it inside out and use your iron to flatten it. Then you want to trim the white part to leave 1/4 or 1/2 inch. Now our collar has gotten to this stage, it's good for us to measure around to see if it's complete. As you can see, it's 16. I'm doing this just to get the middle of the collar, and I'm also going to do this to get the middle of the neck. Now I want you to push the excess in the white part inside so that you iron it and it take the shape of its opposite side. It should look like this. We are going to be using the ironing line as a roadmap to sew on when joining the neck to the collar together. Take your time to pin around the neck, but make sure you start by pinning the middle of the neck and the collar together. Before sewing, it's always good to mark where you want both collars to sit so that you know that when you join them together, they are sitting at the same place. Like I said, when sewing, sew on the ironing line. That is just like your road map. Now you're done, take your time to push the rough side inside, iron your work, and it's not necessary to add hemming gum at the bottom, but to make your work much more easier, you can add hemming gum at the bottom. And even without sewing, it looks already sealed, and if you want to add a tag, you can just open it up. Now I'm going to be sewing at the edge of the smaller part of the collar round, and I prefer starting from this part. This is the outcome after sewing around it and connecting the thread lines together. Take your time to iron the collar. And this is the basic knowledge you need in making a collar like this.